Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this. Ripple CEO dubbed Steve Jobs of crypto by top XRP lawyer. So it's Johnny Deaton saying that Brad Garlinghouse is a top candidate for the title of crypto's Steve Jobs. Honestly, I think Ripple is going to be way bigger than Apple and Amazon. And Brad Garlinghouse is going to emerge as the CEO, the greatest CEO of all time. But you know, Brad is a true leader because he doesn't only look out for Ripple and XRP, he's looking out for the entire crypto community. Everything that Brad does is about leveling the playing field for all of crypto. But you know, when it comes to Ripple and XRP, I mean, Ripple, they're emerging as a bank. They could easily emerge as a central bank as well. But it's going to take some time to get that banking license, and most likely that's going to happen while we're still in alt season this time around. But I do believe Ripple's going to be bigger than Apple and Amazon. ProShares launching 3 XRP ETFs on July 18th, just in time for Crypto Week in DC. Here's what matters. Institutional money can now flow in. XRP gains exposure on regulated markets. Expect massive volume plus volatility. Price targets $3 to $3.50 next. The walls around XRP are coming down. Wall Street is coming in. And the real run hasn't even started yet. You know, this time around, when people are selling their XRP, institutions are going to be the buyers, not the whales. It's going to be institutions buying up that XRP. People don't realize that yet. I still see a lot of people saying, I'm selling my entire bag at $5 plus. Why would you sell so cheap when you know what XRP is capable of? Chairman French Hill on Face the Nation on Crypto Week in the House. They want to try to get some bills passed this week. Take a listen.
Well, in the work in the Senate led by Bill Hagerty and Tim Scott and Cynthia Lummis on the Genius Act to create a dollar-backed stablecoin, we've heavily influenced that legislation over the 2 years of previous work by the House. And our Clarity Act, which sets up the rules of the road for what's a commodity, what's a security, how to use digital assets, how to store them, how to custody them. These are the rules that will protect consumers, will limit access to our market and our investors from entities outside the United States trying to influence the crypto markets. We have none of that today. What we've had is a mismatch of rules by enforcement in the Biden administration, and I believe the bills we'll have on the House floor this week will protect investors, consumers, and make America, as President Trump wants, a leader in financial technology and crypto and digital assets innovation.
So do you think they're going to get something actually passed this week? It would be great if that happens. But everything in Washington seems to take forever. And we still have a lot of anti-crypto politicians in Washington as well. But if something gets done this week, that could really get this market moving. XRP pumps are often violent and unforgiving. When it goes, it will go, go, go. You've been warned. When XRP finally breaks out, it moves violently to the upside. And a lot of people are going to be buying halfway up a massive green candle. People don't realize that yet. I still see people pushing that same narrative from previous cycles. XRP is the last mover. Shift your money back into XRP. Go make money in something else first, like meme coins. But, you know, this time around, it looks a lot different. It looks like XRP can possibly lead us into alt season. XRP season 2025. I really like the idea of that because look at what we have going for us as XRP holders. So you see, ETFs, we're waiting on any of these to get final approval. Then the institutional money comes. Treasuries. These companies are creating treasuries with XRP inside, and they're not going to sell when XRP goes up in price. They're not retail investors. Tokenization, that's going to be big later this year once regulations are in place. XRP Ledger EVM sidechain. There's so many great projects building out on the sidechain as well. And then we got stable coins. And you look at this, and how can you not be bullish on XRP with all the catalysts lining up at the same time? We are witnessing a perfect storm for XRP, and people just don't see it yet. Anybody who still thinks it's a good idea to sell their entire bag in this cycle, they're just missing the point, and they are going to be filled with a lot of regret. South Korean traders were behind XRP massive rally once again. There was a total of 45 million XRP net buy pressure on spot markets, and Upbit, the leading digital exchange in South Korea, accounted for 70% of it. For comparison, U.S. giant Coinbase accounts for only a relatively measly 11%. Bitstamp, the leading European exchange, had only a 6% share. They absolutely love XRP in Korea, and they seem to be fueling the price of XRP right now. But you know what it is? They see XRP as something that can give them financial freedom. They don't look at XRP the way most people look at XRP. They know what they're holding. There's a lot of people that still don't realize what they're holding when they're holding XRP. They got an XRP because a friend told them to buy it. Never did any research. They're just waiting for the price to go up. Most likely, they will sell before it ever breaks 2 digits. Then there's the people that bought XRP, kind of knowing what it is, but they're here just to make some quick cash. They will also be out either at 2 digits or below 2 digits. They'll be gone. Then there's the diehard people that hold XRP, that research the hell out of it. They know what it's built to do. They have vision for where it's going. They see all the rails that Ripple put in place, and they're never going to sell their XRP under 3 digits. Not even take profit until it reaches 3 digits. And those people will go on to get financial freedom and passive income without ever selling all their XRP. That's the 3 types of people that hold this asset. XRP case update. Ex-SEC lawyer reveals when the regulator could officially end the appeal. So everybody's thinking this is going to end very quickly. A lot of people think it's going to happen during crypto week, and it can. But Mark Fogel says not on a weekend, they won't end it. It typically takes a month or 2 for a vote on an enforcement recommendation. So people need to chill. There's a process. So he's saying it could take a month or 2 for us to get the announcement from the SEC. However, I think Atkins wants to get this wrapped up. He knows how important Ripple and XRP are. I think he might end it sooner than most people think. Here's what's going to happen, though. No matter when this case is finally ended, it's going to come out of nowhere when we all least expect it. They're not going to tell us before it happens. Now we're back to this as well in the community. XLM is better than XRP because XLM right now is pumping. It's up 28%, sitting just above 50 cents. Now, I love XRP and XLM. They're not fighting each other. In fact, I told you in countless videos, hold both of these cryptocurrencies. They're both going to play a very big role in the new financial system. But it's not XRP versus XLM. They're not fighting each other. People in the communities should not be fighting each other either. And I think what's going on is this. XLM is catching up now. I think we're going to see that with the other utility cryptocurrencies as well. XDC is another major winner here, and a lot of people are still overlooking it. I think digital trade is going to be talked about in the United States this year as well. So this comes from Lift Capital. $10 XRP is realistic, which means $3 XLM is realistic, which means $1 XDC is beyond realistic. Now, here's the good news. I think that is a very conservative prediction because I still think XRP is going to $20 plus. And that's my conservative prediction for XRP. Most likely, it's going to go much higher. So think about it like this. If XRP was to, say, hit 30 bucks, I think XLM playing catch-up could possibly hit $10 plus, which would mean that XDC goes above $5. Then there's HBAR, which I also think can easily go above $5. QNT, the one that everybody's overlooking, and there's less QNT than there is Bitcoin. I think once it starts to rally, it's going to go above $1,000 in this run. Then we look at Algo and IOTA. Again, I don't even know what kind of prediction to give to them because Algo has a great ecosystem. A lot of what has been happening with their ecosystem and projects is not priced into Algo at all. IOTA, with the Internet of Things and Industry 4.0 still pushing ahead in the background, it's hard to predict where either one of those two go. But if I was to say, this is my prediction for XRP, XLM, and XDC, and HBAR for sure. There's a good chance HBAR gets closer to $10. I see people predicting a $12 HBAR in this cycle. And I'm not going to roll anything out because this cycle seems so much different than previous cycles. I think this is the time that we're going to see utility start driving the price of these cryptocurrencies. They're all ISO cryptocurrencies as well. So it's hard to say still, but we will know very soon as these catalysts continue to play out, real world events continue to play out, and institutional adoption starts to play out. I think a lot of people's predictions are going to change as we get closer to the end of this year. But I would absolutely hold a little bit of every single ISO cryptocurrency. And I would be stacking the hell out of XDC at 7 cents because I really do believe it's going to go to $1 plus. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.